Good morning. It's hot outside, but I'm going out. I got Tour de France on my TV, and I got Tour de Fleece on my wheel. I have been spinning a little bit today. This is my loop bump that I am spinning. Earth Goddess, Merino, Bamboo, Angelina, and Tessa Silk. And the loop bumps are cool because you just pull from the middle and you can see the different colors. It was a little tough pulling it in the beginning, kept breaking, so now that I've gotten a little bit in there, it's coming out really easily. But I have lots of different colors on here, and got a little twist on that. Going outside. Good morning, it's Barbara. Oh, you're far away. Hold on. Maybe that was better, I don't know. Thank you for joining me for coffee. I got up a little bit tiny bit earlier than I have been today, but I was reading my phone and watching the race and doing a little bit of spinning. And yeah, boy, it's hot and muggy out here. Well, I'm a little bit in the sun. That's part of it normally. But there is no breeze down here where I am. If you look at the top of the trees, which I'm not going to show you, you would see that there's a breeze above the house, but not here. So might be coming from that direction, which would mean I'm being blocked. But that's all right. I don't plan to be out here too long because I just come in to say hi. I have been enjoying the spinning. Simona told me that I am spinning in the correct direction, clockwise for the singles, counterclockwise for the plying, which is good. It doesn't really matter with my new spin that I'm doing now that I started, but I was adding to yarn I had spun years ago, and then plying yarn I had spun years ago. So of course I didn't remember what direction, and if I was wrong, you know, if I wasn't doing it the traditional way, which I'm sure I've been doing the whole time I've been spinning, then I was screwing it up. But she assures me that I was not. She also encouraged me to spin my cashmere, which is, you know, is true. What am I saving it for? That's like that yarn, that gorgeous yarn, you know, that you don't even want to knit it because it's so amazing, and what, you know, you might mess it up, you know, just knit it. She's not wrong. I should be brave, but I'm just starting. You know, the July is a long month and I'm going to be doing some spinning. So I've spun a little bit this morning, not much, and I will be spinning more today. The fridge comes this afternoon, so I have some work to do on that. I'm in charge of emptying the outside, you know, taking all the little things off with the magnets, which we have a lot of. That's my task for today. We did clear out that cupboard on top of the refrigerator. Had a couple things we wanted to keep. But Dennis is worried that it may not quite fit. It's like a half an inch taller than our current refrigerator. So we may be taking that whole cupboard that is above the refrigerator out. But we shall see. Anyway, so I have a little work to do today. We also have a piece of furniture that kind of blocks the doorway a little bit, but it won't, it just might be in the way trying to get the old fridge out and the new fridge in, so we'll move it so it's not an issue. So that's happening today, and I'm spinning today. Dennis is talking about mowing, but it's pretty brutal out here. Of course, he's got a riding mower, so he can go, maybe if he goes fast, he'll make his own breeze. I don't even know. So anyway, so I spent yesterday watching the boringest leg of the Tour de France that I can even imagine. I mean, and we watched, or and I watched it for quite a while I was spinning, and then I'm like, when she went upstairs, I'm like, this is too boring. So I missed probably the only exciting part, which was the finish. But I spun, so that was fun. And I did go to the fish store. It was our anniversary. Last year I went to the fish store and got in an accident on the way home. Now, I'm not superstitious. As one poker player famously said, it's bad luck to be superstitious. But in the end, I did find myself going home a completely different way than I went home last time. But it was because of traffic and the lights and things like that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I had oysters, and we had sushimi, and a yummy baked cod that Dennis bakes for our supper. And I got a little seaweed salad, so I had some of that. So I did go to the fish store. And I did not get in an accident, but I'll tell you, I was driving very carefully. Not that I don't always drive carefully, I do, but, you know, anyway. So, yeah, hot and muggy today. Not a cloud in the sky that I can see. You know, there may be, well, you can't really see the sky. I was going to say, there's probably some behind me, because every time I say that, Dennis looks up and says, he's a bit of a brat sometimes. So there you go. Yep, that's today. And I'm pretty excited about this refrigerator because it's got 2 ice makers. The refrigerator we have now has 1 ice maker, and it sits like in the refrigerator so that when you push on the door you get ice. But that ice is not very cold, which is weird. But it is it is not clear at all like you picture ice being clear. It's so full of bubbles that it's cloudy, and it just melts right away. It's strange as it seems, it's not very cold. So I've been making ice for my cocktails in the freezer in ice cube trays, because we were supposed to get an ice maker in the freezer drawer too, but it wasn't there when the refrigerator was delivered, and we tried to get it and we never were able to get it. We paid for it. I mean, it was part of the fridge, so that was always annoying. So I've always had to make my own ice for my cocktails. And Dennis cleaned out that freezer drawer, and there was like 2 inches of solid ice on the bottom, or, you know, my ice cube trays spill all the time because there wasn't a place for ice cube trays that was, you know, designed for ice cube trays anyway. So this new refrigerator has I forget what they call it, you know, a separate ice maker in the freezer drawer for fancy ice for cocktails. I mean, it's not called fancy ice, it's called something else. Boutique ice, or I don't know. Anyway, I'm looking forward to having my freezer make me good ice. I will tell you. And yeah, it has a couple of different features than ours. And ours is a very nice refrigerator, except that it broke. The freezer part broke. I mean, it still freezes, but it's full of frost and stuff because it doesn't seal anymore, and the drawer is broken, and one of the drawers in the fridge is broken. But anyway, we're a little excited about our new refrigerator, although Dennis is in a slight panic that it's not going to fit. So we may indeed have to take that above the fridge cabinet out of our kitchen. Now, as I said, we only had a few things in there that we didn't even remember what was in there. So that's not a big deal in terms of losing cupboard space. But of course, it's going to have a weird space on the wall above the refrigerator. Now it'll be above the refrigerator, and we can pile our stuff back on top of the fridge, and you won't even probably notice. But our kitchen, as with almost all the rest of the house, has never been painted or decorated by us in any way, and we've been in this house for 21 years. We actually made settlement 22 years ago. So it's still decorated the way the woman before me decorated it. And the cupboards are not particularly good quality. We have a lot of the doorknobs we've had to take off because everything on the lower level of this kitchen has these roundy doorknobs that catch on Dennis's pants all the time, and occasionally mine. So like a door has been broken off because, anyway, Dennis last night got caught again, and he's like, when we redo this kitchen or build our new house, whatever happens, we will not be having knobs. I'm like, I know, on our new cupboards. So anyway, whatever we do in the next 5 years, this kitchen situation is going to be resolved. Either because we build our house next door that we want to build, or we just make a renovation to this house, depending on, our energy level. So anyway, so we won't, my guess is come tomorrow, we're not going to have a cupboard over the refrigerator, but I will let you know. He was trying to figure out how it's held on and if it's going to be easy to take off. And I think it should be pretty easy to take off. It looks like it's held on with a bunch of screws. So, yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if he just decided to take that cupboard out prophylactically, just so that there's no question when the guys come, I think that is a good possibility, because as I said, it's only there for the look of the continuity. And if it's in the way, and maybe that'll be a little impetus for us to do something about the kitchen. It would be not a bad thing to do something about the kitchen. Dennis would love a better kitchen setup and whatever, because, that's where he does his thing. All right, I've rambled enough. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go spin and watch more of the Tour de France while I'm working on my Tour de Fleece on my loop pump, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay sane.